What is up YouTube, Synchron here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time it's going to be a deck profile on Gladiator Beasts. I think this particular deck may have a few runnings in a few regionals in the UK, not too sure about the US, just because it's one of those decks that no one's really going to expect in the current meta. They'll expect the likes of Murmils, Fire Fists, that kind of stuff. So when you start tagging in and out, they're not really going to expect you to start doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's get on to the deck profile. We run 2 Gladiator Beast Aquari, 2 Darius, 2 Aquest, 1 Bestiari, 1 Hoplimus, 1 Murmillo, 1 Secutor, and 1 Retiari. The reason why I run a Hoplimus is just because it's a wall that not a lot of beaters can get over in this particular format. Obviously with Murmils they'll be able to get out I think it's Megalo and just run over your Hoplimus, but most of the beaters will just run into this guy and then you can tag him out during the end phase and get something else out that you need, i.e. Bestiari to clear back row, Murmillo to pop a monster, whatever you need. Hoplimus is a good first turn set. If you draw into a middle to late game, is not as good because obviously your opponent's already started going into their massive plays, but early game Hoplimus is a really nice card to have. Just set it, and as I said, you can go into other things sorry, during the end phase of that turn. Laquari's pretty much there as a big beater, and also if it's summoned by a Gladiator Beast, its attack becomes 2100, so it just ups the attack again to be a big beater. Double Darius, there's not really much to say about Darius other than it's a beater, but obviously I can target a Gladiator Beast in my graveyard and special summon it, but its effects are negated, and it's then shuffled into the deck when it leaves the field. So it's a nice card, it just replenishes your Gladiator Beast stuff. Sorry guys that I might take a bit longer to explain this. I haven't played Gladiator Beasts in so long that I still need to read their effects just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Quest's really nice because you can recycle a lot of cards. That's what I was trying to get at. So it's a very good card in the deck, and also it's a 1600. It doesn't get over the likes of Thunder King, but it's still nice to have on board as a presence to be able to recycle your cards. I've already talked about Bestiari, Hoplimus and Murmillo. Secutor's just there as sorry, as a novel special summoning monster. It's not, I do side this out a lot, but it's not really a card that I may take it out, I may not. In fact, I will take it out now. So no more Secutor, forget about that. And then obviously you've got to run the Retiari and a Gladiator Beast deck. I know you don't have to run Test Tigers in the Gladiator Beast deck, but in this particular build I do like to run the 3 Test Tigers. It just gets me into my monsters a hell of a lot quicker. Into my Gladiator Beast monsters, sorry, a hell of a lot quicker. And it's also good if you go Test Tiger, say you reborn a Test Tiger and then you summon something like Retiari or Murmillo and you can't really do anything with these two, then you can just obviously go into either Exceeds or obviously into your Gladiator Beast fusions depending on the situation you're in. Then I run 1 Stratos and 2 Prisma, pretty much key cards that have been running any Gladiator Beast deck over the years. I remember back in the Telidad format, these were run in 3s, 3 of Stratos and 3 of Prisma, just because you could back them. Then I run 3 Proving Ground. I've seen a lot of decks that run Heroes Live not running Proving Ground, but I like Proving Ground because it allows me to add a level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast from my deck to my hand, which is pretty much every single card in the deck in your Gladiator Beast engine. So it's a very good card to have early, well, any point in the game. You can just then wreck your opponent's plays from there. I run 2 Lance just to save my Gladiator Beast monsters, stop them from being destroyed on field. 2 Hero Lives. There's not really much to say about that. You can get back your Stratos and Prismas from when you used them earlier. 1 Dark Hole, this is just if I need to clear the field and I don't like the look of my opponent's field, I can just go Dark Hole, get rid of everything, start again. 1 Reborn to reborn any Gladiator Beasts or my heroes, or even Test Tiger that I need to during middle to late game. It's not very good early game because obviously you're still cycling through your Gladiator Beasts but middle to late game is a very nice card to have. Run one Book of Moon, just again to save my Gladiator Beast if someone's going to attack into a Glad that I want to keep on field. I just flip Book of Moon face up and make their monster go into defense position, which therefore stops their attack. 2 safe zones. I run these over maining Veilers, not maining Veilers, sorry, maining my MSTs. And this is the same with Forbidden Lance, sorry. They're there instead of double MST and Heavy Storm. As you can see, I have got those 3 cards. Sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have got those cards in my my side deck, so I can side them in if I need them. But most of the time they stay in the side deck because Safe Zone and Lance do the work for me. And obviously I've got the likes of Bestiari to clear back row as well. I then run 2 War Chariots. Not really much to say about that. 2 Compulse, very good against Mermills. They summon whatever and you just go, no, I'm going to compulse that back to your hand. Sometimes it doesn't really work out because then they have a play to get the card back out again, but compulse is still a nice card to have just to buy you more time and make sure your opponent wastes more resources. Bottomless, just to clear the field of monsters I don't like the look of when they're summoned. Starlight Roads, there just to obviously keep my plays alive and keep myself alive. Double Torrential, again just to clear the field, make sure I get rid of monsters I don't like. I don't like using Torrential when I have a full board of Glad Beasts, though it doesn't really help. But at the same time, it's nice to have that backup plan just in case you need it. Then I run 2 Call of the Haunted, pretty much the same as Monster Reborn, and then 1 Solemn Judgment. I do not play a Warning. I don't like Warning in this format just because it's down to 1, so therefore I don't really want to play it in many of my decks. There are a few decks that you'll see when I post them up that do have Warning still in them because they actually utilize Warning well. But in Glad Beasts you want to reserve your life points as much as possible. So I've only got Judgment in there, and Judgment's only ever used if I desperately need it. Most of the time I side out my Judgment for the likes of Imperial Iron Wall or Dust Tornadoes, depending on the matchup. So I'm debating about Solemn Judgment, but it's there in case I need it. Now into the side deck. Sorry, standard pretty much side deck in monster lineup. I run obviously 2 Vela, 2 Maxi, and 2 Thunder King. I was thinking about maining the 2 Thunder Kings and making the monster count 18, but I then thought actually I've got enough monsters as it is, so I'm just going to leave it as the side deck and then side them in if I need them. Maxi's pretty much for the meta nowadays. There's a lot of special summoning going on, and the same with the 2 Veilers just for the meta, just because if my opponent's about to go off, just drop Veiler on one of their effect monsters and they can't do much. I've already talked about the double MST and the Heavy Storm while they're in the side deck, so I'll move on to the traps. I run 2 Dust Tornado for the Fire Fist matchup because obviously they rely on stuff like Tenki, Tensu, all of their spell and trap cards. So having Dust Tornadoes in the side deck just allows you to have extra removal alongside the 3 that I've just gone over, or went over earlier, sorry. I run 2 Imperial Iron Wall because Gladiator Beasts, you do not want them to be removed from play, otherwise you are screwed. And then 2D Prisons just as a alternative to the likes of my Torrentials or my Bottomless, depending on matchups, etc, etc. Now onto the extra deck. I run 2 Gazaris, 1 Asadari, 1 Herculinos. There's not really much I need to say about these 4, just because they are pretty much standard in any Glad Beast deck. You don't need to play 3 Gazaris, 2's enough. 1 Asadari is enough, and 1 Herculinos is enough. I don't really need to talk about them much, so let's get on to the I can't even speak today. Let's get on to the rest of the extra deck. I run 1 Stardust, obviously for Starlight Road. I run Abyss Dweller for the Mermal matchup. Gagaga, Cowboy, and Maestroke pretty much are standard rank 4s in extra decks nowadays. I then run 1 Shockmaster because it's kind of easy to get Shockmaster out in this deck. I don't use it much, but it's there just in case I need it. I run the 1 Utopia because it's Utopia. I run 1 Roach for any Chaos Dragon matchups I come up against, 1 Leviair just in case I need it, 1 Acid Golem, 1 X Saber Invoker, and 1 Leviathan Dragon. So my extra deck's pretty self-explanatory. So that's been a deck profile, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you have any feedback for me, either on my videos or on my deck profile as it is, please leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you if I can. Please subscribe to my channel to see more content, and I shall see you in my next video, which I'm hoping will be a duel video. I am not too sure.